Welcome. What I want to do today is show you how to multiply a radical number times a radical. So what we have is we have the square root of 5 times the square root of 15. So it's important to understand when we're multiplying numbers that we're taking the square root of, or radical numbers, what we understand is we can multiply the radicand times the radicand. That means the number under your square root, in this case, or under your radical, we can just multiply them. So when I multiply the square root of 5 times the square root of 15, I get the square root of 75. And just to prove my point, let me just show you an example. We don't know what the square root of 5 is or what the square root of 15 is, right? But let's take an easy number that we do know. Let's say square root of 4 times the square root of 9. So if I follow this, now we know that this answer is square root of 4 is 2 and the square root of 9 is 3. 2 times 3 is 6, right? Well, what happens if we multiply them? We would get the square root of 36. The square root of 36 is also 6. So we can see how it works. Now what we need to do is we need to simplify the square root of 75. Now there's a couple ways we can do this. One way is factoring. The other way is looking at simplifying out a square root number. So what I'm going to do for this way is I'm going to show you by factoring. So what we can do is if I need to take the square root and I need to simplify this, what we can do is we can just start taking a look at the factors and breaking it down. So we already know 5 and 15 are the factors, so let's use that. 15 times 5. But remember, even though we're breaking it down, they're still going to remain under their square roots. Then I can break down 15 into its factors, which would be 3 times 5 times 5. Now remember, the important thing to understand about a square root, right? The square root of a number is equal to 2, or the square root of 4 can be written as 2 times 2 equals 2. So whenever I have a pair of numbers multiplying, a pair of numbers, the square root of a pair of numbers on a radicand is just going to equal that, whatever those pairs are. So the square root of 5 times 5 is going to be 5 times radical 3. And that is going to be my simplified answer for multiplication of these two square numbers. And there you go. Thanks.